Hey, we're live here, Sam De La Torre at Island Fishing Tqckle. Oh my God, it took a while tonight to get on the air. I screwed everything up.
As usual.
Yes. How are you, Sam?
How you doing?
Good to see you, man. What's happening?
Everything, man. Fishing's happening.
Is it?
It's time.
What's going on?
You tell me.
Man, this bluefin tuna bite, #1, is freaking awesome.
Yeah.
It has been phenomenal. Here, did you see the story I dropped today on the 2 kids from Michigan?
No.
So these 2 guys come from Michigan. The biggest saltwater adventure this guy's had has been on the new Seaforth catching sculpin.
Okay.
He stepped it up, jumped on the Pacific Dawn, and they go out and they said it was phenomenal. They had 10 fish over 100.
Yeah.
They had limits of bluefin tuna, and these 2 guys got their limits. And I don't know how big their fish were, but they looked to be like 200. I mean, like 100, 140, like that.
Jeez.
So these
From
guys,
where?
Michigan.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and they're big morning briefing guys, and they're going to be watching tonight because they love this show, and it was just fantastic
That's
to
pretty
see
cool.
that. So I
How'd you
mean,
hook up with those guys?
they like I said are big morning briefing, so they sent me a message and said, "Hey, we just got out the Pacific Dawn. We watched your show.
Man.
Do you think there's any chance we could be on the morning briefing?"
Yeah,
I said,
yeah.
"Are you kidding,
got it."
man? I'm all over this, man. This is going to be fantastic." So really, really great stuff, no doubt about it. So part of the reason why I'm late tonight is I was getting my neck adjusted. Do you want to come over and say hello real quick?
Sure.
I say let's let this gentleman give his phone
Yeah.
number, right? You don't
on
have to
in.
run off, Scott.
Dr. Ed,
All right.
my newest patient.
Hey, get close to him, Sam, with your mic, or yeah, there you go.
What do you want me to say?
I want you to just look out there and tell everybody what you did to me
We're gonna
today.
keep Phil alive so we can keep having these shows. So we can stay in the know on all the fishing info.
Man, I'll tell you, that made a huge difference. I feel so much better already. You want to give a phone number out there or not?
Sure.
Go for it. You can speak right into
It's,
Sam's
Dr.
mic.
Ed Maywood, or Edward Maywood, area code 818-378-7808.
That is fantastic.
There you go.
Doctor, it made a huge difference
You wanna get
already.
better? Give me a call.
Absolutely.
Answer your questions for you.
Thank you so
All
much.
right, you got it. Thank you.
Good stuff. It was pretty comical. You had customers coming in, and I was late.
They're walking around you.
What were they thinking?
I don't know.
He was going to take my appendix out or something?
That's next week.
Yeah.
Ed, thank you so much.
You got it.
Doctor. Man, I feel 100%. Do you ever have neck problems or anything?
I don't know. Maybe.
Ed,
I
are you
got-
going to stick around for a few hours?
I got one neck problem.
Oh, yeah. Who is it? What's his name? It's a pain in the neck?
The neck problem.
Some pain in the neck.
I'm still not ready here. Upcoming. Are we on the air?
I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah, we are? Okay. Well, what the heck? Oh, here we go, maybe. I'm so screwed up tonight. I think we're on the air, so I'm just going to keep talking like we're on the air. Anyway, bluefin tuna fishing, phenomenal. And of course, Sam, 5 days on the Independence. That trip all of a sudden is looking really good.
Yeah, it is. When's that coming up?
That's April 4th, and, it's a little
Month
early
away.
in the season.
No, 3 weeks away.
Yeah, like that. So, I mean,
Jeez.
by then it should be rocking.
Yeah.
And, like the Dawn with 10 fish over 100 pounds. That's pretty amazing. The rest of these guys, so I know that the Tribute had limits of fish. The Polaris Supreme had a good trip. It's just been really outstanding. Really, really good stuff. So
That's awesome.
I don't know, man. We're off to the races on that. We keep catching halibut. That's been a little bit slower here recently, but there's still some halibut around right now. And
Relatively speaking, slow.
yeah, right. I mean, yeah, there I go now because I shouldn't be talking like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, it's really, really been good.
Yeah,
So,
you might only catch 2 or something like that, right? Yeah.
well, who was it? Nick Ramirez. I don't know if Nick ever comes in here. I don't think he does. He lives off. But Nick was out. He had 2 on the Pursuit. The Pride had a nice sea bass yesterday. They had 7 halibut, I think. Let's see, Native Sun got blank, but they've had a phenomenal year.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like every boat is targeting them, I mean,
Yeah.
they're all still fishing the regular stuff, so once again, I mean, it's still pretty dang good.
It is.
Yeah.
And we're doing are you busy this weekend? We're doing a surf fishing thing this weekend.
This Sunday, we got something going
Actually,
on
we're
this
doing
Sunday.
it Saturday.
Well, I'm
Yes.
here Saturday.
Oh, that's right.
yeah.
Doggone it, man. One of these days we're going to figure it out.
We'll figure it out, yeah.
It's been good down there in the surf. That's been going on. Tremendous fishing there. Just great stuff for this
Yeah.
time of the year. Normally, I'm dying. Like, what the heck am I going
Feels
to
like
talk
June.
about?
Feels like June where we're like just getting going, and you get some good reports here and there, but it's, I mean, way early.
I know, exactly. And hopefully that is going to continue. Dan Smith is on there. And he says, hello, Sam, and all you salty dogs at the shop watching. Do you see that one? Or am I on another show here?
Dan Smith.
Oh, do you see a ton of comments?
Yeah.
God darn it.
Or maybe I'm on the wrong one. I don't know. Mine just froze.
Hey, folks, just hang on. We'll get this
Start
going
it
here
over
in
there
about...
again.
Nah, I'm in another thing here. So screwed up
You
tonight.
have to
God darn it.
close that one too,
Yes, I am.
and then open it again.
Oh,
Sorry,
Sam.
guys, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, everybody. Sam's
Yeah.
got me all screwed up tonight.
Well,
Here
he fixed his neck. But,
yeah, and it went right to my head.
Everything above it still has some problems. So
Oh, my
Yeah,
God.
yeah.
Too much running around in Mexico, let me tell you. Nobody got their head chopped off on this trip again. Amazing.
amazing.
You know? Yeah, oh, my God. Everybody's shocked about that, you know. I had somebody tell me send me an email today and tell me to be really careful down there because there's been some people robbed. I go, thank God that never happens in the United States.
Yeah.
Jeez, nobody ever gets robbed here. All right, maybe this is, hey, I got it. All right, we're ready to rock and roll here, everybody. Phil Frieman is on the air. He's feeling much better.
Catching
He's
up
seen
here,
the
huh?
chiropractor laying right here in front of everybody, walking into the shop tonight. That was a sight to see. Did you videotape any of that?
I was busy.
Doing what?
Work.
That's more important
Yeah,
than videotaping me laying there?
Yes.
Whoa, and there's millions of comments. And I'm finally on the right page. How long did that take me, ladies and gentlemen?
13 minutes.
Oh, my God. That's a long
It's a
time.
long time.
You want me to read some comments, and then we'll jump into bluefin tuna fishing?
Yeah.
I do know that the Rip Roller 400 grams were really good on the
Okay.
Pacific Dawn, and so were the Eddie Bombs.
Eddie Bombs. I saw some SK jigs and some pictures.
Yeah.
Some kind of chrome and glow. Trying to keep an eye on what's going on out there. I know I saw a couple in those multicolor Katy Perry style, rainbow colored things. So trying to keep my eye on those pictures, see what's kind of biting. But a good thing, it seems like it's a variety. It doesn't seem like it's all the one kind like it was a couple years ago. It seems like a variety is biting.
Jigs, everybody?
Yeah. It seems like you just get in the right school and you get something heavy enough to get down. Definitely the bigger jigs. That's what I saw in some of the pictures. But we'll see how that develops.
Before this whole bite got going, have you seen this girl Paulina down there in Mexico?
yeah.
She's great.
Right.
And her parents are plugged in, and there's some commercial guys that come in and out of there, and she's nuts about fishing. So she's asking. So somebody, I think Tim Marquez on the morning briefing sent in a question and says, "Hey Paulina, I'm out now."
Yeah.
And people are like, you don't even have to stand in front of the camera
Well, she
anymore.
fishes. That's the problem. So,
Yeah, she's way ahead of me on
she
many
actually
levels.
fishes, yeah.
She's good looking.
Yeah.
She fishes. So they asked her, and she said she had heard that 40 miles from there was a big area of bluefin tuna.
I'm sure there is.
So, I think this is what these San Diego guys got on the next day, maybe. And then Louis Prieto, we did an interview with him sitting on his boat down in Ensenada. He said the same thing. His commercial guys are telling about a big volume of fish. And I was thinking, I don't know, maybe these guys. And then get home, San Diego's bit.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing they're probably in that same area. I'm sure some of
seems
those
like-
San Diego boys know some Mexican commercial guys too.
Well, it seems like it bit in a couple places. Just
Yeah.
judging from some of the reports, some of the guys that were on these trips, they kind of spilled the beans about kind of where they went and things like that. But it does seem like there's a couple different areas that were biting, and some areas that had some medium-sized fish, and some areas that had some bigger fish. And so all the way around, though, it's biting. I mean, that's the whole deal.
Does
seems
it
like
surprise
several-
you that we're getting a bite this time?
I don't know about
really,
surprise anymore. Just the way things have been the last, a decade or so. But I will say it's nice to see. Every year you feel like, well,
Are they going to be
maybe-
back?
Maybe that was the last year we got him,
Yeah.
and it's kind of cool to see him bite again.
Oh, heck yeah. All right. Let's read a few comments here. Current Jam says, hello. Hey, Current Jam, good to see you. You are fantastic. Good evening, everybody, from Isaac, who bought a brand new rod and reel from you.
Yeah. It's going to go fishing tonight on a trip, right?
Yeah, Dan's going, right? Well, Dan, I saw him out there with a sign, rod discounted.
Oh, that's
yeah,
right, that's right.
He's out front trying to, go to a massage place tonight or something. Nate Sal says, good evening. And Nate checked in with me this morning on the morning briefing. It was good to see you there. DZ, where's Andrew? He ran out the door, right?
Yes, he's gone.
Yeah, he's camera shy. Isaac says, sorry to put you on the spot today, Sam. Had strike when the iron was hot.
Yeah.
Had to strike when the iron was hot.
Yeah.
Thank you for the great service. So
Yeah,
what did he buy and what's the deal?
So he got.
You're going to get him divorced, by the way.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. They were down at the show. So they were down there at the show. I don't know if it was Saturday or Sunday. They were checking out. They wanted to see, a cool jigging outfit for these tuna. In fact, the outfit that he bought would have been perfect for the size fish that they were catching. And so he wanted to see what we had. And luckily for us, Moon had dropped off some of his custom rods just the day before. So he had a good eye at that stuff. You know, during the season, we don't get that stuff. We get it early season, it sells out, and then Moon's just super busy the rest of the year. He doesn't really have time to kind of restock us on that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So he came in, he saw one, and he's just like, oh, do you have anything in blue? I had like the most beautiful blue rod that Moon built, and of course all this stuff is super nice. And then we had the reel that he wanted, and so he kind of like one of those like looked at his wife, looked at the rod, looked at his wife, and she, you know, they were kind of like, well, we'll see, because it's a, you know, kind of an
big
expensive,
investment.
yeah, you know, but it's like the primo, right?
Yeah.
And so they said, you know, we'll have to check it out. So she called today and didn't give me any warning as to who it was for, but she's like, oh yeah, Isaac called, you know, he said he called and set this stuff aside and just wanted to pay for it. And I'm like, at first I was like, hey, who is this, you know? And then after she started explaining, I was like, oh, that's right, you know?
His wife called you?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Yeah. So she called to pay for it. I don't know if it was a gift or a surprise, or it doesn't seem like it because he knows about it.
Blackmail or something?
Something, yeah.
Yeah.
Someone lost a bet somewhere.
Yeah.
But I know he's fired up. So I think that's what he's mentioned there, too, is that maybe he finally talked her into it, and he had to make sure that she called and got it. But
God
it's a good
God
thing,
knows
you know,
what that entailed,
we
right?
hadn't put the rods out. You know, I bet you we put those rods out, next week they'll be gone.
Yeah.
So it was good timing on their part.
And this particular rod and reel, this setup is perfect for this 100-pound bluefin like
perfect,
that? Really?
Perfect, yeah. It's the Osha Jigger 4000, which we've showed on the show a few times. In fact, you know what? Maybe we could show it off here. Maybe read off a couple questions, and I'll go grab it.
Yeah. Are you're pointing at Dan, so you're wanting him to bring you the reel, or
Is it
not?
in the car? Yeah, you gotta go grab it.
Yeah.
Go ahead and read a couple things there.
Oh, yeah, you got it. Well, hey, let me just remind you all that you can join us on the Independence 5-day trip. We would love you to join us. The world-famous Scott Bucher will be there. My son Philip will be there. We have a margarita bar the very first day. That ought to be a disaster, by the way. And so much more. You can join us. Fishing's great. We should be getting into yellowtail, bluefin, tuna. Rockfish, man. If those fish were up like on the 60, can you imagine pounding rockfish during the daytime also? Anyway, www.independencesportfishing.com. Robert Graber, happy Monday. Phil, Sam, Michael, and the Friedman Adventures family. Robert, it's good to see you. Robert, fishing up in the Channel Islands, hammered out a beautiful halibut up there that you will see that photo on the morning briefing tomorrow. That should be great. Steve says, hey, Phil, Sam, daylight savings time feels weird watching. He's right, you know? It's light out.
It's light out, yeah.
Yeah. Does that mean we have to keep going until it gets dark?
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
all
Let's
right.
get this camera kind of worked out here. I think you set it up a little bit.
Oh, you're
off
blaming
there.
me, huh? You're lucky
Yeah.
it's on the air. What do you want me to do?
Who was the one that was getting massages for the last half an hour before we were getting ready?
Right on this table,
Right on
ladies
this
and gentlemen.
table, yeah. So,
I thought
yeah,
that table was going to blow
try
up.
not
That's
to
why I
point
was.
fingers, but if you want me to point a finger,
Ed, are you going to help me out with these guys? They're brutal. We'll do our best. Yeah. Greg, make sure you bring me that phone number during the show so I can hit Ed one more time on our. I'm going to give him another plug here. What the hell? What like?
Keep talking, man.
All right. Israel De La Cruz says, good evening, Phil, Sam, and the Friedman Adventures family. Israel, it's always good to see you, mi hermano. You're live, Phil, says Isaac. Yes, barely, Isaac. Don't get too carried away. Current Jam, thanks for the Alexa 500. Sam, took a few casts, and it's nice and smooth. What, is the reel getting rave reviews?
Yeah,
or?
yeah. I think the guys who were excited to get it, they're excited to have it. You know, so yeah, everyone who's gotten it so far has been liking it.
Current Jam says, could you go over the magnetic brake system on the Alexa 500?
Sure.
You're going to do that after this?
Yeah.
Should I hold on then? Or?
Yeah, let's go grab that reel.
The Alexa 500. Go ahead. So www.independencesportfishing.com. Don't forget, you can save 20% on the California as well as the beautiful island spirit up there out of Ventura Sport Fishing. All you have to do is book your trip before April the 1st and mention the password, which is preseason 20. You can do that by buying your trip online at Ventura Sport Fishing, as Sam is getting us all set up here, or you can just call the office and mention the code word, and Sal, who works in the office, will take really, really great care of you. That's 805-676-3474. Island Spirit is going this Saturday. Kids fish free on Sundays, with a paid adult 12 years old and under gets to go for free. So good stuff. 64 people watching, tons of questions coming in, Sam. Go ahead. Are you? Oh, you're going to do it out there? Oh, I like this.
I'm inside still.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
noticed.
I'm right here. Yeah. So this is the Alexa here they're talking about. This
Oh,
is the
very
magnetic
nice.
cast control here. So basically, for you guys, I'm not sure. Are we hear more? Well, because it's a little delayed there, I think. If you watch it on your phone, you might be able to see. Anyway, so right here, this dial is basically how it works. You know, you'd have to take the reel completely apart to be able to see how the magnet actually works onto the spool. But it's got a number right here on this dial. Basically from 1, actually off, we passed 1, and then it'll go all the way to 10. And in between each of those, there's a second setting. So technically there's 20 different settings on there, but you guys can see on the side of the reel there, that's how that works. It's pretty easy. You could adjust it every single cast if you wanted until you kind of find the sweet spot for you. But you basically, most guys will start off at the heaviest setting 10 and kind of work back until they start maybe getting the backlash, and then maybe they'll tighten it up a couple notches, and that's how you do that.
All right, very good, excellent stuff. And then you're going to go right into the jigger.
Yeah.
All right, perfect.
So this is the one
You're
there.
doing a great job tonight, Sam. I think I'm going to leave for a little while. You're doing so
Where are
great.
you going?
I don't know. I'm going to lay down
You
on the
got some
table.
wings for me?
See if the doctor will work on my neck again.
So this is this is actually a blank that Moon had imported himself. He had made for him. So this is an exclusive blank that he
I see what you mean
has.
by the aesthetic
But this
beauty
is a
of it.
beautiful, beautiful rod
Yeah.
here. It's rated for 200 to 500 gram jigs. So that's where you know, most of these jigs that I saw in the pictures were in that 300 to 400 grams. So this thing would be perfect. And it's matched up with this OSHA Jigger 4000. It's from Shimano. We've loaded it up with 80-pound multicolored braid. It's the 80-pound depth hunter offshore. So that line is marked every 100 feet where it
Oh, cool.
changes color.
What pound
every
is
100
that?
feet. This is 80 pound.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and you would put maybe like a 130-pound leader on that.
Hey Sam, why are the eyes like kind of twisting around?
Why is it acid wrapped? He's asking, right?
Yeah, so if you guys can see that, the guides are
Good
wrapped,
question, Michael.
around the rod there. It's called acid wrap. And basically the whole idea is that when you're jigging, it does two things. First is as you're jigging up and down, if you're jigging it really hard, sometimes you'll get a little bit of slack that'll come up. If it wraps around the tip, and the fact that the tip is pointed down, it'll just fall off and it won't grab onto the tip. The other thing too is that when you're fighting a fish, it does kind of pull the rod down a little bit more vertically, so it's a little bit
Do you
easier.
like acid wrapped rods?
I don't.
Not a big fan,
I'm
you can
not.
tell.
I wouldn't say I'm not a big fan. I'm not really sure if it's something that I would require.
Yeah.
For myself, I do have my jigging rod is acid wrapped. I've caught some nice fish on it. I don't really know if it was that much of a difference for me personally, but the concept of why we use it, it does apply. And so.
Do you know the origin of acid wrapped? Why that name? Acid wrapped.
Yeah, I don't really have.
Yeah,
an
that's weird,
exact,
right?
Like who
It's a-
coined it? You
yeah.
know? Yeah. No, I don't have.
Or
that.
what it means, or why they coined that. So yeah.
Yeah.
Did you hear that he got sent to the principal's office the
What?
other day? So I'm trying to.
It's probably your fault.
It was.
Oh, great.
But listen, I was trying to improve his vocabulary.
Mm-hmm.
So I go, do you know a word that you use when a person makes something worse? It's exacerbate.
Uh-huh.
So he was talking about exacerbate, and his teacher sent him to the, and he's like, wait a second, Phil told me that means to make things worse. Poor kid. Look at him. Are you okay? You get out of that? Okay? Just have her call me.
He exacerbated his
He exacerbated
position.
his situation.
Yeah,
Yes, he did. Reading more comments now or not?
Let's go on.
All right, here we go. Abraham. Sam, can you please show or explain the best ways to catch sheep's head, lures, or how to pin a bait on? I'm guessing. Thanks, guys.
Shrimp. Yeah.
Yeah, that shrimp, Nick Ramirez, I mentioned him. He went to the market after he watched our show, limits of sheep's head.
Yeah, that's probably still going to be your best bait, and you can fish those on a dropper loop. You can fish those on the sliding sinker. Sliding sinker is probably the most common way to do those things there. And as far as how much weight, it depends on where you're fishing, how deep, how much current. But most of the times you're going to be anywhere between a 1/2 ounce to a 2 ounce egg sinker is going to be the most common one. No real big secret to it. You want to fish it in free spool. When you get down into that area where you might maybe start feeling like you hit the bottom, take a couple winds and you're kind of swimming it back almost, you would think, but it's a dead shrimp. You're not swimming it, but they'll eat that thing and they'll bite it pretty hard and set the hook.
I love catching those. Do you?
Yeah.
They're fun.
It's not really a big technique thing. I think really having that bait, the right kind of bait, is really the deal.
Biggest sheep's head?
I don't know, maybe a 15 pounder.
Yeah,
maybe
that's a good
12
one.
pounder, maybe. Yeah.
That's a good
I haven't
one.
caught one of those big 25, big giant ones.
I got one on the Amigo, like it was blowing 49. It was crap weather, and we were at Nick. And I go, what the hell, because I wasn't filming anything. I went and I cast a bait, and then I hung a fish, and then I heard Paisano up in the wheelhouse. He goes, whatever it is, it's big. And I go, I know, man, get down here. It was a 23.
Nice.
No, it's a good one.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those things,
As
I
big as they
love
get.
catching those things.
Yeah.
Man, they are fun. All right, let's see. Nate, hey, I'm planning my first tuna trip and was looking at doing a 2-day trip on board the Tomahawk. Do you have any experience with them? I do not. Do you?
I don't. I know that they're kind of known for running a pretty good operation.
Uh-huh.
I know they're a smaller boat, and they're kind of known for running small
Probably what, a
boats.
65?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that. Maybe 50 or something.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I don't have any personal information on that.
We'll try to run some of that down. Or if anybody out there's fished with them before, leave a comment up here and let us know how it is on board the Tomahawk. Red Pill. Good evening, gentlemen. Great show. Question. Great show. You should have seen the beginning of it, Red Pill. I had it all screwed up. Question for the 800H. What reel would you pair it with? A Mac 10, a Talica 12, or a Torque 25 amp?
Yes, either of those. I mean, those are three pretty equal reels. I wouldn't really rate one much higher than the other. I actually have all three of those, and I think they're all great. I know the Makaira, one of the things that people like about that is that it has a little bit larger handle, and so it feels like it's got a little bit more cranking power. The Torque 25 Narrow, it's the lightest of the three, I'm going to guess, and it has a really lightweight spool. That's one that I've caught a lot of nice fish on, and I like it a lot. That Talica 12 is just kind of known as being a workhorse reel. I'm sure that's probably one of Shimano's most popular reels, that Talica 12. So all three of them, you're about the same line capacity, about the same drag and all that kind of stuff. I think either of those would be fine.
When's your first trip this year that you're actually fishing on?
Not sure.
Are you going to be on the Royal Star this year? Yeah, of
I'm
course.
sure I'll be
right?
on there a few times. Yeah.
Yeah, you got a few trips with them?
Yeah,
Good.
we have a couple 3 days, and we have an 11-day.
Nice. That sounds good. All right, Chris Navarro. We miss Chris, man.
Yeah,
He's the
yeah.
best. He's been so generous down here.
Yes, he has.
Here lately. Hey, Phil and Sam, I'm going to watch the game from home this time. Got up at 3 a.m. to watch the Dodgers. Where are they? In some
They're
foreign
in
country? or
Korea,
something?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I remember watching the Notre Dame game in China at 2 o'clock in the morning. Go, oh shit, the game's at 2. I got to get up, man. It's pretty crazy. Chris, thanks, man. It's always good to see you. Nautical Tenderness, evening, gents. Do you have any pre-rigged leaders for tuna jigs? Thanks in advance.
We do. We sold a bunch at the show. We're a little bit low right now, but that's going to be first on the docket there for us to get those made again. So we make them here in-house. We got a big giant crimper that we use for that, and I'm sure we'll make a couple hundred of those here this week.
You know that story I told you about those guys from Michigan, that just drives the point home. I mean, the guy's catching sculpin and sand bass on a half-day boat, and that's the most he's ever done. His friend has never been, neither one of them on a tuna trip, and they go out and get these monster fish. That's a testament to the equipment, to the crew. It's amazing how you can jump into that so fast. It used to be you had to go through the school system in sport fishing. Start on the half-day boat, move up to the three-quarter-day boat, go to the all-day boats, then a multi-day trip, and then a long-range trip, and then maybe you would be ready.
Yeah.
But now you can just jump to the front of the line because
Yeah.
his equipment is so good.
Yeah, I mean, I would venture to say that they probably had some assistance along the way.
I'm sure.
But I think the biggest thing is that the crews on these boats, especially with having fought so many tuna over the last 10 years, they've really gotten really good at making sure that they're coaching their anglers and they're making sure that their gear is in good shape, because these opportunities on these fish are fish of a lifetime. And so I would imagine that they've been there to help out so many anglers catch their biggest fish, and so they know what they're doing.
The comment he made about the crew, which says it all to me, is it's perfectly obvious they love what they're doing.
Yeah.
So you know they're on deck,
They're on it,
getting
yeah.
those tangles out, helping you out.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
Yeah.
Man, I'm really looking forward. This guy was supposed to go on our 5-day trip, and he screwed up.
What happened?
I don't know.
He can't go?
We might twist his, twist his ankle or something. Starting to move up toward 100 people.
Ed'll twist it.
Yeah, Ed. We'll get Ed over here to
Yeah,
twist
yeah.
his neck, just like he got
And
me.
that was nautical tendencies.
Oh. Did I miss nautical tendencies? Yeah.
Well, you call them nautical tenderness.
Oh, I like tender, man. My neck is tender right now. Sniper Gene, gentlemen, I'm going on a 1.5-day trip on the Pride this Saturday, possibly to Isla Catalina, primarily targeting white sea bass and halibut. Do you think I should bring a jig stick just in case the forkies are around, yellowtail.
Always bring one.
Yeah, right?
For sure. I mean, yeah, granted, that hasn't been something that, based on what we've had this year so far, I mean, yeah, the chances are probably not great, but it's just one more rod. I mean, I definitely would take it, for sure. I mean, I've caught yellowtail in the wintertime before on the surface iron. It doesn't happen all the time, but it's not going to happen for sure if you don't take it.
It's springtime, by the way, now. I hate to
It is
break
now,
it to you.
yeah,
Not
yeah.
quite,
Well, I'm
tomorrow.
just saying, I've even caught them in
Right.
worse conditions.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, yeah.
And
So-
we're seeing, we were down there in Ensenada, and there's a guy named Foca. Did you
Yeah,
see him?
I've heard of him. Yeah, I've
He's
heard
a
who you're
cool
talking
guy,
about.
yeah. So sea lion, right? Because he was swimming in the water, and the kid went, "Oh my God, a sea lion!" And I go, "Is he cool with that?" I was talking to Pauline, and she goes, "He prefers that to his Jose," And I go, "Okay." And so, really cool guy. But he had 3 big yellows the other day down there, Santo Tomas. There's been breezing yellows up there at La Jolla.
Yeah.
Who had the Mission Bell had 4 yellows at the Coronado Islands the other day, and they're going to be Mission Bell. By the way, everybody. They'll be headed to the Coronado Islands in April every single day. You can start booking at Point Loma Sport Fishing right now. And that will be with, of course, my friend Sean Hardigan, who just had a baby with Mimi. And Scott Bouchard is in the galley preparing breakfast
That
burritos.
alone,
Yeah, that kill your appetite right away.
yeah.
If you're looking to diet in the near future, go out on the
there.
Mission Bell.
Yeah.
Scott Bugert will ruin your appetite in a second. Just kidding. Scott does a great job. All right, Tim Knott. Hey, Phil, Sam. Hey, Tim, what's happening, man? I have a great question, and I know you've got the answer. Uh-oh.
He's got an answer.
Where do grunion go when they don't run? So when they're walking, right?
All right.
Do they go to deep ocean or whatever? I've always wondered. That is a great question, and I don't have the answer to it. Do you?
No, I don't. I thought I saw something one day.
They got to move offshore, right? Or
I don't think they go that far offshore. I think they were talking about the grunion and doing some studies about them, that they don't go that far offshore. They move up and down the coast and stuff like that, but they don't really go that far.
And I know it's water temperature based. It's like that 60-degree mark is when they start to kind of do their thing. And so like this time of year is when you normally start to get it. But good question. We should pose that question. We should get a Department of Fish and Wildlife segment on the show.
That is a great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
You think
we should start working
You think
on
I should
that.
pursue that?
It's worth a try.
Yeah, Carrie
Yeah.
Wilson. I can go to
Right.
her. I can go to Brian Young.
Maybe wait till next year's shows, and then you could do it there.
That's a great
That'd
idea,
be awesome,
Sam.
yeah.
I like
Yeah,
that.
One more year of not doing it. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Be quiet. All right, X.
Oh, wait a minute. We have a dinner that you owe me.
Why?
March 17th.
Well, that's all done. The stuff's all done. We
Where's
didn't.
it at?
We did.
I don't see it.
It's all. Ask Greg.
Where's it at?
I don't know. I didn't know I'd have it delivered here
You
to
said
prove
the
it.
17th.
It's all done. Yes, I did. But I don't even want to get into. The frigging El Patron
Badia,
was going to do the boat rides. He moved over to Long Beach for fishing.
Oh, that's why you
from
don't have it.
22nd.
Oh, okay, then. No,
That
I
has-
understand.
We have it. They are, folks. You can come down to the surface.
Well, there was traffic on the 405, and you were gonna. But then it rained, and then my mom and
the surf fishing event.
But I didn't have any dirty underwear.
The,
And then
the surf
Which
fishing
one?
event, Saturday. You can come down. Greg will be there selling shirts and embroidered hats.
all right,
We have a
How
ton
much-
of them.
How much did you sell on the grand opening of your merchant?
This is the grand opening.
No,
It
that
got
was the
bumped.
17th.
It got bumped because the boat
did?
moved over, and we couldn't do the boat rides.
So then I get the dinner.
It was sure. We'll take out for chicken wings tonight. How's that sound? Yeah, he likes that. So, all right, it's chicken wings tonight, everybody.
Ed, he needs another adjustment.
Ed,
He's-
Ed, I need an
he's
adjustment.
he's tightened up here, yeah.
Ed, I feel so much better. You fixed me up. Hey, Ed. So that's a whole other thing. I need a psychiatrist for that. Hey, how often do you do that? Do you fix a guy's neck? Like every day, can you do it?
How often do I walk into a tackle?
Yeah. First time.
I
I know you can't hear Ed. He said, how often do I walk into a tackle store and Phil Frieman wants his neck adjusted on the table that they do the show on? That's pretty good stuff, I got to admit. Yes. XO 200855. Hope you are feeling better, Phil. I really appreciate that. I am feeling a little bit better, and I've got a referral to a surgeon coming up here, so they're going to fix this thing, whatever it is,
sure
whatever's
they will.
going on. Either that, or I'm going to have Ed, adjust
You're
my
gonna get there,
esophagus.
they're going to be like, it's gone.
Yeah, I
It
know.
must have been in your neck.
Well, I was in China. I had that giant hernia that I had surgery, but I remember I walked by a massage place and they had all this incense, and somebody was translating. They said, "Oh, we can do that with acupuncture. We can fix that. Like 3 sessions." I'm like, "No, you can't. That's not happening. I'm out of here." All right, James says, "Hi guys, I love to surf fish, but I am now 80 years old." I know the feeling, James, and my legs don't work so good anymore. Getting down to the water on the beach is a real problem. Do you know of any transport type scooter?
I don't.
I don't. But hey, James, send me a text, okay? It's 657-227-6459. We can get you pretty close to the beach, and there's a bunch of guys here. We'll carry your equipment down, and we'll find a way. We'll find some way to get you down there. So don't forget, send me a text. I can't respond to you right now, but we'll find a way. I can get you parked right next to the beach, and then we'll get you down there. And then what we need to do is set up a chair for you and have you catch some fish with us. That would be our honor to do that. So one more time, 657-227-6459. We'll find a way to, do it. We'll get a wheelbarrow. We'll stick you in that. We'll do something, James. We will definitely get you down there. Please, I'm sincere about that. Take me up on that. We've got a thing going this Saturday. If you'd like to join us, that'd be great. Jose Guevara, Sam, are the CalStar BT 90J and GG 90J different or lo mismo? The same.
They are different for sure.
They are diferentes.
Yeah. So that BT90J is a blank. It's an all glass blank, which everybody I'm sure is familiar with. The GG90J is actually the designation that they have for a rod. The blank for that BT90J, that blank for that GG90J is called the BTG90J. So those would be the two you want to compare, as a blank to a blank. And the BTG90J is a blank that has kind of a graphite core with a glass on the outside. So they are different. The GG90J or BTG90J is a stiffer rod. It's stiffer throughout. It's somewhat similar to it in the sense of how it's designed, the blank is designed, but the outcome, the product is actually something that's a lot different in mostly in that the tip is stiffer on that GG90J. A little bit more parabolic maybe, but stiffer all throughout.
All right, good stuff. 100 people watching the show right now. I toast Dr. Ed with my coffee, which he said I'm drinking too much of. I'll make this my last cup of coffee for the next 30 seconds. Yes.
I knew that was coming.
So good. Christopher Navarro.
There you go.
I told you he's a kind, generous
Super
man.
kind guy.
Just sent $20 in here, and he said, take Michael out for some wings. You know how many wings I can get you with $20?
Not enough.
One, because the rest of us got to eat too.
Yeah,
so you're
another
screwed.
$20 for that. Yeah.
Go tell the principal that I exacerbated the whole chicken wing thing tonight. All right, James, James, we're going to get you down there. That is for sure. Sniper Gene, how much is that jigging rod that Dan Lightfoot is selling out in front of the store right now?
$400 is what he was selling them for. So that's a great deal, honestly. I mean,
for the rod, and then the reel is how much?
Those are like 600 something.
So $1,000 for that.
Yeah. But the rod is 400. I mean, I think I have one more of those left. Not in that color. It's a different color scheme for the other rod, but it's a nice one.
You can make that kind of money. You know, Greg, he goes into Mexico, goes in the casino, hits that Dia de los Muertos slot machine, puts all his money in there, and then he cashes out every time.
That's the way to do it.
He hits it every single time. All right, Chris Navarro. Sam, is the OSHA Jigger 4000 the same size as the old gold Trinidad 40N?
Yeah, basically same dimensions, height and width the same. The internals are a little different. It has a different handle, but as far as the sizing, the dimensions of it are pretty close.
Dan Lightfoot, right there in the audience, says hit that like button, and we concur.
Button.
There it is. The light's on. What are you talking about? The light's on. Thanks, Dan. We appreciate it. Tony, good evening, guys. Sam, what's your personal jigging rod? Sounds like a personal question. Yes.
I've got a few, but the rod that's close to like the one I showed there for the bigger fish, bigger jigs, is I have a custom rod, CXJ 6005 by United Composites. But I have actually a couple different ones for different kinds of jigging, but as far as that speed jigging, heavy duty jigging, it's that United Composites CXJ 6005.
Boatman says hello from Iowa, USA. Man, thank you for joining us. I know it's late there. We really appreciate that, man. It's great to have people from around the world watching the show. They love you, Sam.
They do.
Me, it's kind of like this thing with Paulina now. I think I've screwed that all up. Hey, you better tell him to quit drinking something else, Ed. Greg's walking out of here tripping over everything. So there you are. All right, Timothy, fam, any honey tan T540s in stock, or when will they be in?
Don't have any in stock right now.
What are they?
That's a blank.
Okay.
The Calsar T540. Yeah, none in stock right now. I'm not really sure when we'll have some more though. So yeah, just kind of stay tuned on that. Watch our Instagram or Facebook. When I get some in, I'll post a picture.
Hey, Daniel, great to hear from you. Daniel says, what's the best casting oil for a jig, Sam?
I'm not sure what a casting oil is.
I was gonna. That's why I threw it at you. I'm like, I have no idea what that is.
Yeah, I imagine
maybe he voiced it.
Maybe it's
casting
a voiced reel, maybe.
Reel, probably. Yeah.
I mean, there's definitely a lot of good ones out there. Depends on what kind of fishing you're trying to do. I mean, traditionally, the Trinidad 20 is probably the reel that the guys who do a lot of surface iron fishing, that's probably the most common reel for that application, Trinidad 20, I would say. But, these new bait casters are good. That Lexa 500 is going to be a good one. Tranks 500, Saltiga 35, Saltiga 40. All of those are going to be good in that category. And nowadays, too, back when the Trinidad was new, that was the only reel of its kind. There was no other reel that even came close to it. But that's 30 years ago. Nowadays, the Saltist, the Fathom, all those reels, the Penn Fathom, all the companies make a really, really good, high quality, good casting reel. So there's a lot of reels that'll do the job really well. But by and large, the guys who do it a lot are fishing the Trinidad 20.
Poor Ed, the chiropractor, is locked in here now. He's like, how the hell do I get out of here, I adjusted this guy's neck, and now I'm screwed. I can't get out of here. No, I'm kidding you. I know that. All right, Tony wants to know if those bluefin tuna are in Mexican waters or U.S. waters.
I think both, probably.
Yeah, I think maybe both, but so this is all unconfirmed. I haven't sat down and talked to anybody, and all you got to do is go on that tracker thing. I haven't done that yet because when I'm reporting, I just need to know, are they in day and a half range?
Right.
What are they in? They're definitely in day and a half range. The guys that were on board, the Pack Dawn, said they fished, and these guys are from Michigan. But I'm sure the crew told them, or they heard, 110 miles southwest of Point Loma. So that would put them that sounds like the Mushroom Bank or out that way. Out toward the Shroom or something like that, which is where those little long fins will be swimming around too.
They're eating albacore.
Yeah, that's it, man. Some guy had a halibut bite the other day. He sent me a message, and he was winding up the short halibut, and the big legal ones were trying to eat those.
I bet.
How cool is that?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That is pitching. All right, so I think they're in both, but that big jag of fish, I think there's some smaller grades of fish. And I should say and tell you, and you probably know already, but there's been a daytime bite. It's been pretty good. Mostly fly line, but some sinker fish, like the 30 to 60 pound grade. And then at night.
Yeah, the babies, huh?
Yeah, the little babies, that we would have died to catch years ago.
Now no more. Huh?
I know. Only 30 to 60. Yeah. It's ridiculous. Yeah. You're right. And then the bigger ones, 100-plus pounders are at night on that 400-gram, type of lure or those Eddie bombs also are working really, really well. So sounds like both. Dzung Duong, who is a fantastic human being, and it's good to see you here. Thank you. Hi, Phil and Sam. Is the YouTube video of the 101 jigging seminar at the PCS show? Brian Wynn explained the word acid wrapped originated when an angler saw the spiral wrap on the rod. Like you're on an acid trip? Is that what he's talking about?
I'm assuming that maybe. I'd have to watch the video.
Okay. Yes.
I vote for him.
Oh, okay. Bob Gifford votes for that. All right. So maybe that was it. Does Sam have tungsten type knife jigs available at his shop?
Not right now.
What is wrong with you?
I was talking to a rep here just a couple of days ago that we're going to probably bring some in here pretty soon. So it's basically it's a heavier, smaller jig. That tungsten is a heavier material.
Do you think
Sometimes.
if we extend this show a little bit longer at the end, I could lay down again and Ed can work on my back a little bit?
Yeah, put that right outside.
Maybe
Yeah.
that'll be the close.
Yeah.
We'll just say, thanks for joining us. I'm going to get on the table now,
Uh-huh.
and Ed's going to jump up and down on my back and see if he can crack it. We'll see what happens. All right.
Yeah.
Exactly, right? All right, Dzung Duong said that the rod wrapper must have been on drugs or acid not to wrap the guide straight. That kind of makes sense, right?
be,
That's
yeah.
great. Thank you.
Possibility.
You solved our dilemma here tonight. Frankie Sanchez, evening fellas. How are the Trinidad 12A reels? Also, what rod would you pair that with? Thank
That's
you.
going to be the smallest
Thanks,
Trinidad.
Frankie.
Primarily that's going to be a fly line reel, and really like a nice finesse reel, meaning that it's a reel that doesn't hold that much line, so you're going to not have that much unsprung weight to have when you fish a live bait. And also, since it's a smaller spool, the spool itself is lighter as well. So it's a reel that I have, and I use it for fly line fishing when I kind of know that there's not big fish around, mostly island fishing for yellowtail or stuff like that. But also, I use it for some light jigging as well. I've caught a bunch of yellowtail on it on one of my lighter jigging rods on my long range trips. So it's a pretty versatile reel, smaller reel that it'll either do, like I said, it'll do fly line really good, or even some light jigging would do well with that as well.
All right. Thank you, Frankie. Great question. Chris Navarro, who was so generous to send $20 in here so Michael Limon can eat one chicken wing because Sam needs one and I need no. I'm kidding. Great stuff. All right. Chris says, I always take a jig stick, a butterfly jigging setup also. Now we have to take 80 to 100 pound on an overnight trip just in case, which is crazy.
Yep.
Crazy good.
Yeah. I mean, the opportunities, right now we're living them, and it seems like, it's a given, or some people even say, oh, I'm tired of bluefin or whatever.
Right. Don't get too tired of them.
Yeah, I hate when people say that because they don't realize, they don't appreciate the opportunity we have right now. It's crazy,
Yep.
But I understand it, people want to catch everything, and I think that, I think it's just fun to say that, but yeah, you got to take everything.
Yeah,
You gotta
exactly.
take everything.
Michael Limon, did you have a question?
Yeah.
You go ahead.
How much are you selling the merch?
I'm not selling. Oh, the merch. My merch. We are selling our shirts for $20, and the hats. I didn't talk to Chuck Myers about the
Can they
price.
pre-order
on
them right now?
that. Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
pre-order. Call Dan Lightfoot.
Okay.
He'll take your order right now. I don't have his phone number, but I'll get that for you in one moment. No, you got to come down to the beach.
There's a limit though, right? There's only so many.
I think we have like 80 shirts and maybe 100 hats. So we're getting going here.
Yeah.
Come on, our budget is like that. What do you want? What can I tell you, man? Greg and I, we tried to hit a horse the other night to pay for him, and it didn't work out too well. Man.
Slow down.
We were yelling for our horse to come forth, and it come fifth. It was terrible. Let me tell you. All right, so Chris, yes, definitely, you got to do that. By the way, I picked up a bunch of old photos that I had. I hadn't seen them for a long time. I was looking. I go, oh my God, there's Ruth, my wife, with Tommy Rothery, and then my kids swimming in his pool. But to go back to your bluefin thing, you're talking about, they could be gone someday. I remember Riddler looking at me one day and going, because guys were like leaving albacore up by the trash can and just throwing them out in the street. And he goes, these people deserve to lose that fishery just to teach them how really valuable this is. And that's what you're talking about.
Right.
When I'm tired of bluefin, they go away, you're going to know just what you miss, man. This is a freaking the envy of sport fishing.
Right.
SoCal.
Right.
Really is.
It's kind of what we dreamed of, me growing up, that's kind of what you dream of is these big fish, and, you dream of catching one. Now that you can catch 40, 50, 100 pounders in a career, that's pretty amazing. For most people to catch a 100 pounder, that was like the benchmark. You catch a 100-pound tuna, you've kind of made it. If you live long enough and you take the time and you go on a long range trip, if you're super lucky, you might catch a 200-pounder. Now it's like you said, guy flies out and goes on a day-and-a-half trip or whatever that was, a 3-day trip.
Yeah.
Catches a big fish, 100-pounder. It's almost something we take for granted.
Totally is, man. So
Go fishing.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Doug Rubin El Sueño from down there in San Diego, California. Doug, always good to see you. Thanks for hooking me up with the new Winthrop bent butt.
Yep.
It works great with my swivel insert. Let's go fishing soon, guys. what kites do you sell? And Doug's a great guy. Doug, good to see you here tonight.
Yeah, I was talking to him on the phone today. He says he wants you to go down there and fish with him.
Let's go.
Let's go. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love to do that. I mean, it seems like it's time now, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
We sell the Tiger's kite. That's probably the one that we sell the most of, and we usually have a variety of them. Actually, just today someone was buying one, and so I saw that I need to restock, but that Tiger's kite is the one that we sell.
Excellent. Isaac not only bought that rod and reel from you, he just threw us a $20 bill.
Jeez.
Michael Lemone's going to get 2 chicken wings.
2 chicken wings.
Yeah, and if he tries for a third, I'm going to get him with a fork, you know? Right in the hand. Don't you dare, Michael. No. Hey, Isaac, we really, really appreciate that. Thank you, my friend. The only thing that would make that better is if you were here with us trying to wrestle your rod back away from Dan Lightfoot, and that would be awesome if you were able to do that. So thank you so very, very much. We really appreciate it. JC, it's bluefin tuna time, gents. Small 8 blacktail hook, 30-pound fluoro. Let's go. Blacktail, our friend is over there. We love him.
Yeah, I think that's what he was using. He got that 110, 120
JC
pounder.
did?
Yeah.
When was this?
Just on that same trip.
Oh, shit, that's bitching.
And at 30 pound, I think he was using like 30-pound gold label or something like that, which is, man, pretty small line. And he got a 100-pounder on that small hook.
Nice going, JC. Blacktail hooks. We love Izzy over there. You know, Sky, he's all right. But Izzy, oh, my God. It's kind of like this whole Paulina thing now. Everybody's throwing me off the ship. Chris Navarro, when is the Friedman Adventures Grunion run? Which beach would be ideal? Our beach is good over there. Surfside's a really productive beach, and I know exactly where they show up and where they don't. So we haven't planned that yet, but we have a big surf fishing event Saturday, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. You just send me a text, and I'll send you the parking situation. And guys like Dan Lightfoot will be there. Greg Bates says he's going to be there. Bob Gifford will make a decision at the very last minute whether he's going to be there. It'll be a real celebration and a lot of fun. Michael Limon, are you going to be there?
Yeah.
Michael Limon will be there. And we've had really, really good fishing. And then perhaps from there, Chris, we can move ahead and come up with a Grunion run night. Would you be into that with your kids?
Maybe.
It's so late at
Grunion
night.
run?
It kills me.
You know,
it would have to be a Saturday night for you.
well, also, too, they got spring break coming up. So if,
Right,
if it
that's what I'm
lines up-
thinking.
If it lines up with that, maybe.
All right, I think the next Grunion run, if I have it right, is March 25th.
Okay.
So
Next
that's going to be
Monday, yeah.
weekdays, right? Are your kids off then?
I think they're off the following week.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
we'll get one right in the middle of Easter vacation so all the kids can join us. Yeah, but good idea, Chris. We love you. Rob S. is a Shimano Speedmaster 12.2 with a California Tri-Helix composite 30 to 80 pound, too heavy for rock fishing.
No. I mean, definitely would be on the heavier side. If you're going to be fishing up north, up there where they catch those big lingcod, it'd probably be actually pretty appropriate. For down here, a lot of times we're doing some lightweight stuff, but sometimes in the early season, I know some of the boats will go fish that 14-mile bank and they're fishing a little bit deeper.
Yeah.
So that would be probably okay for that, for fishing those like 16 to 20 ounce weights or maybe even heavier. What I would try to look into, especially for this early season stuff that's coming up, is maybe find a lightweight jigging rod, and get some like 20 or 30 pound braid. I'm thinking this might be the year with the amount of jigging stuff that we sold, slow pitch rods and lighter reels, that you're going to start seeing that quite a bit on the boats.
Yeah, for sure. That should be great. All right, good stuff. Pokey That Fishes Evening Jets. Hey, it's great to have you here with us. Rocket Dog, what's up, guys? Sounds like a full house at the tackle shop. We do have a full house tonight, right?
Yeah, we do, yeah.
I'm going to get another adjustment later tonight while you guys are eating chicken wings. It's going to get crazy around here. Let me tell you. I'm not even near finished. Steve Bermudez, there are beach.
They are, yeah.
Yeah. All right, Steve.
No.
Very good. Thank
Say
you.
that
Oh,
the
there he
next
is. There are beach wheelchairs for rent at the Santa Monica Pier. He's right. And
wow.
I've seen them at the Huntington Beach Fair. In fact, I've got a photo. I got to break that photo out. It's freaking tear-jerking. It's a father, I'm assuming, pushing his son out, and his son is disabled. You can clearly see that. And the kid is just freaking laughing, and he's pushing around, getting his feet wet, and it's really bitching. Giant tires on this wheelchair.
That's cool.
Brings a tear to my eye just telling you about it. It was I forget who I was with, maybe Greg or Bob. I was with Bob Gifford, and we were both like, wow, that is so cool. Just watching, and then I shot that photo, and I think we're good now, Sam.
Yeah.
Greg, if you see that again, it says reconnect, you just push that. Okay? I'll talk you right through it. Look, he's just like, what?
What did I do now?
Okay, I think we're okay here. We're coming back, maybe. Down to 48. Are we up? Yep. All right. We're back. I don't know. We had some technical difficulty. Sam didn't pay his bill or something.
Yeah.
Did you pay your bill?
I was at the show.
Oh, you spent all the money on my,
Chiropractor.
On the chiropractor
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the
wings.
merch.
The merch,
The
yeah,
merch,
yeah.
All right, let me see if I can find this. All right, I can actually. Okay, Steve Bermudez is back, says, do a search on Google for surf sand wheelchairs.
Okay.
There you go. James, and yeah, I don't know if you can afford that or not. If you can't, we'll figure a way. Like I said, this Saturday would be great. 657-227-6459. I will prioritize that and make something happen for you. Rob S. Phil, what fish should we avoid eating from the surf? Croakers have a high mercury content. Are there any other fish to avoid? So, Bob Osborne is a guy, I room with him. Bob Osborne has done all kind of studies on this. He says it's BS. You have to eat 4,862 croaker a day to get sick.
Yeah.
It's BS. He said it's so silly because people think that going and eating a Big Mac at McDonald's is better for you than eating a croaker, and it's not the truth.
No.
I eat that stuff all the time, so I don't know. I mean, I guess.
It's like with anything, I mean, I'm sure if you did eat it every single day for a year,
Yeah.
I'm sure there's going to be something. But if you go and eat one of them once a week, you'd probably be just fine. And I guarantee there's something else in your diet that's way worse than
Absolutely.
that.
Yeah.
And it may not even
Sugar.
be, it may not even be a Big Mac. It may be chips or something. I don't
Right.
know. I mean, it's things that we eat all day.
Do you agree, Michael Limon?
What?
Like chicken wings can be bad for you.
Yeah.
Then you better not have one tonight. No, he's not buying that. All right, very good. So, I mean, I'm not a doctor or anything, but that's what this guy, and he delves into this stuff and pours through all the stats and everything else. So I kind of believe what he's saying.
talk to
Back
your
up to
doctor.
82 people. Yeah, talk to your doctor and see what he says about it. Steve Bermudez, Boatman. YW. Do you know what that
Why?
means?
No.
You don't?
No.
Really? Honestly?
Yeah.
I don't either. I have no idea. YW. Yes. Yes, woman. Yes. Yeah.
Why yes?
Yeah, why?
No.
Yeah, Yahoo. Yeah, Wahoo. No. All right. Bowman, we're out of it. I'm sure that's an acronym or initials for something that everybody else knows but Sam and I. Steve Bermudez, you need to differentiate between the two Paulinas, one from 22nd Street Landing and the other from Ensenada. There's no Paulina at 22nd Street, but there is? No, there isn't. What are you talking about, Steve? Are you into the tequila tonight again? There is a Paulina, however, at Independent Sportfishing. Yes, she runs the office there. She's another lovely person. So, two nice people. And what do you want me to do? How do you want me to differentiate them? Tell me. You want their photos up with their names?
Easy,
Paulina.
easy.
Well, I'm just, come on, Steve Bermudez.
One guy just says one thing.
Steve, hey, leave me alone. I'm going to
Sensitive.
let this Steve
This guy's
Bermudez get
sensitive.
away with this.
Jeez, you get one massage and all of a sudden you're
It
sensitive.
wasn't a massage. It was that is belittling the doctor.
Oh,
that was
geez.
a
Oh,
treatment,
sorry.
not a massage.
You get one treatment.
I know. I'm like,
Yeah.
and the coffee,
Let me at
and my
him.
neck feels good, and I'm just ready to kick Steve's ass.
Yeah.
I'll do that right now, man. No, Steve actually jumped on the camera right away and said, Ensenada has the most beautiful women of all of Mexico when he's watching. Luckily for Steve, he's married to one from
okay.
Ensenada, who I know very, very well. So he got out of that one. But I think he was trying to pay Pauline a compliment while still covering his ass with his wife. So
Walk on that line, yeah.
yeah, exactly. Doug Ruben El Sueño, what your thoughts on this jig rod?
Yeah, it's the one he says in the next comment there, which is an Abyss 1009.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice rod. It's definitely a heavy action rod, something that you would throw, 45 7Xs for yellowtail, big yellowtail, maybe even big tuna. But yeah, that's a nice one. I mean, I think those Abyss jig rods are sometimes overlooked because the price is so good on them. So you figure out maybe they're not very good quality. But yeah, that's a nice one, that 1009.
All right, very good. Great questions tonight. Hit that like button, everybody. We appreciate it when you do that. El Patron this weekend. They are sold out on Saturday, but they are running trips on Friday and Sunday. and they have a little bit of room going to Catalina Island. And we have 2 trips on the El Patron coming up. Greg, do you remember the dates of those? Of course you don't. Is it May 6th and May 23rd? Oh, hold on. Let me look here real quick. Sam? Hey, we have one on May the 9th and May the 23rd on the El Patron. You just need to send me a text. You booked those with Phil Frieman.
Those are all-day trips, or?
Those are 5 a.m. to 5
okay,
p.m.
5 to 5 trips.
Yeah, those
That's
will be
cool.
fun, huh? 20 people?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are Thursdays, so you can't go. We're
No,
never going to
probably
fish
not.
together.
No.
It's so sad.
I fish a lot.
Yeah?
I just don't tell you about it.
Yeah. You don't want me anywhere around, huh? All right. I need some more coffee, man. All right. Current Jam, thanks for recommending I join a club in San Diego. I was able to find the San Diego Anglers Club,
Okay.
and they're very lovely and have a wealth
Yeah.
of knowledge.
That's a
good
big club.
job, man.
Yeah, those are great.
That is a good club.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm speaking at a couple of clubs here coming up. Let's see. I'm speaking at the Fibbers,
Fibbers.
Christian Fibbers
Yeah,
Club.
that's a good one.
I enjoy that one a lot. They're really good people. And then Matt, at the South Bay.
South Bay Anglers.
Yeah.
Yep. That's
And
a good
Matt
one.
is a tremendous guy.
Yep, yep. He's got a bunch
He's
of trips that he's got to fill, too.
A diehard USC fan.
You don't hold that against him, I think, right?
No. In fact, we drove through the SC campus today, Greg and I, and took my hat off, and I
saw you
said,
guys
this
on the
is a
news."
quality school, and it's an honor to play football against them. Greg will tell you, I said all those things, didn't I? With a bunch of expletives deleted, but whatever. It was close, something like that. Anyway, all right, Albert Roy. Albert, good to see you, my friend. I still like to use Penn Jigmaster 500 for all my surface iron jigs.
Yeah.
I guess there's nothing wrong with that.
I don't know
I mean, how
about
many years
that.
did we use it?
Yeah.
I know, you got to move on with the times, but Albert seems like nostalgic about it maybe or something.
I'll use it once a year, and then I'll catch one fish on it, and then I remember why I don't fish it anymore.
I know. Yeah, I mean, it's like guys that like, with an iPhone or something. I want a flip phone. I don't want to. I'm not moving
not so
ahead.
much.
And all that. You got to
Yeah.
kind of move along with the
The
technology.
technology, it's just way better.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. But a jig master is a great reel, for sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No question about it. Jason Allen. Good evening. Tackle Shop Confessions from Dutch Harbor, Alaska.
That's
Hey,
pretty cool.
Jason, you are number one. It's also always good to see a commercial. Pollock season has Pollock season. Pollock. Pollocks. You know the difference with how many
Stop it.
Pollocks it takes to screw in a light bulb?
Jeez.
Season has been phenomenal. Great to hear about the bluefin starting to bite. Jason's a great guy. He loves fishing down in Baja. I mean,
Okay.
that's his favorite thing.
Who doesn't?
I don't know, man. Some people are afraid they're going to get their toenail cut off down there. All right, Jason, good to have you with us. Daniel, thank you, Sam.
You're welcome.
Yeah, do you know what that's for?
I'm not sure.
He was the guy that asked about the reel, and we thought it was oil. Yeah.
Real.
Yes.
Oil.
Yes.
Yep. Man, what a
Michael
memory.
Limon. We have a 2-day trip on the Highliner
Wow.
in October. What do you recommend for fishing in October?
Tuna.
Yes.
Yeah.
Beautiful weather,
Yeah.
flat calm seas. Michael Limon, you have a question?
What I mean
A
by
big
that-
steak. I recommend a big steak.
Big, yeah. That's so does Dr.
Yeah.
Ed.
Yes.
He's a carnivore man.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what we're built for.
I mean, what do you recommend they use?
What do you use
Like
for
rods and
tackle?
reels? Or bait?
Equipment.
Yeah. So, I mean,
Equipment,
so
jigs.
he's asking, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, what kind of tackle you're going to be using on a trip there in October? Well, that's kind of prime time. All possibilities. Everything from Dorado, kelp patty, yellowtail, big tuna, small tuna. I mean, you name it. That time of year, you're pretty much open to just about anything. Especially a 2-day trip, you might have the time to catch some kelp patty fish, which might require some 20, 25-pound tests. And then that same day, you might go and jump on some bigger fish, 60, 80 pounders. You might need some 40 or 50-pound tests. And that same night, you might run into some 150 pounders, where you might need some 100 pounds. So it kind of is everything. Kind of everything, So, and if you want to do some jigging, there'll be some opportunities daytime and nighttime for that too. So, yeah, that kind of trip, that time of year, we're so blessed to have it. The variety is just endless, So, yeah, at that time of year, you can catch anything.
And that's when you catch your bigger albacore in the fall. So
It
that
is.
should be really good around that time. The albies should be going full speed.
Yeah.
What color of knife jig do you recommend?
What color of knife jig? Michael wants to know.
We really haven't established a pattern from what I've been seeing. It seems like they're biting everything, as far as the different colors. in years past, guys were really kind of partial to anything with red on it, but from what I've seen so far, it's been pretty varied. So, I don't think there's really a hot jig color. I think the main thing is having a variety of sizes. So something that can get you down, especially if there's a little bit of wind, especially a boat like that, the Highlander being a smaller boat, it can get pushed around from with the wind a little bit too. So it can drift pretty fast at times. So you make sure you want to have jigs from 200 all the way to 500 grams.
Getting down fast when the captain tells you to drop, so important, right?
Yeah. Typically, you just don't know what you're going to get. One school can be fast and furious. You get down, you hook 40, 50 fish, and everybody gets one, and so that's great. But there's a lot of times where maybe you get on a school and you hook 2 fish or 3 fish, and it's going to be more often than not the guys who get down first.
All right, Jason up there in Dutch Harbor says he's going to try to get down on a multi-day trip in mid-April. Maybe I'll see you down at Fisherman's Landing, Phil. That would be great, Jason. We'll be coming in on the 9th on our 5-day Independence trip. Would love to see you there. I'll hand you a fish. I limited out on the last trip on the Independence.
You did?
Yeah, and I never fished. Some guy walks up to me at deck and he goes, "Hey, are you number 2?" And I go, "Yeah, I think so." And he goes, "Well, you're limited out." And I go,
"Stop fishing."
"How did that happen?" I'm sitting here with a camera the whole time. I caught one. Greg handed one off to me, and I got to catch one little 40-pound bluefin. Just a little baby one. That was fun. All right, Christopher Navarro is back. Sam, do you carry Friedman Adventures shirts and hats at the shop?
Yeah, I currently have in stock all of the Friedman Adventure shirts ever been made in the history of time.
Yeah, you were wearing it.
Yeah.
That was it. What'd you do with that? Change oil with it or something?
Yeah,
did you? Yeah, that makes sense. Rocket Dog, I'm never tired of bluefin tuna, and I'm almost out. Yeah, he's out of BFT. Time to get some more. Yeah. When we were in Mexico, they caught a yellowtail and a bunch of rockfish, and Paulina made a sashimi plate. Did you witness that?
No.
Oh, too bad. And she, she did a mixture of serrano, soy, onions, limon, and that was it. And then soaked it in that. Oh man, was that good?
I bet you.
And then these guys were shooting down shots at tequila. Gifford was over there belting one down, man. And I was looking at it, saying to myself, "Damn, what a bunch of dummies." No, I didn't do that at all. I didn't do that at all. All right, but that was fun, man. Hey, in Mexico, Mexicans are going to drink tequila. And that Foca guy, hard freaking working, hard fishing, and he liked to have fun also.
Yeah.
And dude, I watched him. He was drinking tequila and eating stuff, and then I was down at the landing to do the morning briefing.
He was there.
He's hauling down giant barrels of fuel and ice and hey, buenos dias. He's just ready to go. So gotta love that, man. That is so good. Fish with Ish. Bluefin tuna is the wagyu of fish. Yeah, it is, right?
Yeah.
Man, it's so good. No question about it. Jeff Yeomans from the 540 Slingers Club. That's you can join some of these Facebook groups. Also,
that's a good one too.
Yeah, and that's a great one because Jeff really has your best interest at heart. They get together for some, fishing trips. They do that casting in the park stuff. So they do a lot of that. So folks out there, 540 Slingers Club, Jeff Yeomans is really a great guy. You should give him a try. Frankie Sanchez says, "I'll be going on the Native Sun on Thursday. Any tackle recommendations? Thanks, Sam De La Torre." It's been a little slow the last 2 trips on the Native Sun, but hey, it was slow one day a week ago or something, and they went and looked in another area and had a great day. They're about due for a really good one.
Yeah, I would think, anything from 15-pound to 30-pound test, it doesn't seem like they've run into anything heavier or bigger than that yet. But once again, you never know. They can run into a pot of sea bass or something like that, depending on where they go. I don't know if Thursday's a halibut day or something like that, but...
you mean for the Native Sun?
Yeah.
So Wednesday through Sunday, they're doing that halibut tournament and bass tournament. So they're focused mostly on flatties.
So bass gear from maybe 12-pound to 30-pound, I think you'd probably be good with all that. Make sure you take a variety of sinkers for your dropper loops for that halibut stuff. But other than that, it's mostly live bait fishing from what I understand. Dropper loop fishing most of the time, I think.
All right. Hey, leave a comment down below if you'd like to see Dr. Ed adjust my back at the end of the show. And we'll see if we can't make that happen for you. Tim Marquez is going to join Frankie Sanchez
go get him.
On Thursday. I'm planning on being on the Native Sun Thursday also. And in fact, I believe the guy with the big mustache sitting right in front of you, Dan Lightfoot is going to be. Are you going to be on the Native Son? He's going to be
Jeez, the
on
party.
the Native Son.
Thursday.
Everybody, listen, Frankie, Tim, yank that mustache. That will bring you luck. You will absolutely cream them for sure. And a couple of people said the link dropped, but I jumped right on it this time. I noticed that when the count starts going down, there's a problem because nobody would turn away from this show. You are so magnetic and wonderful. Tim P says, we are back. Damn, we lost 50 people, but they're all back again. Tim, you can see the TV behind you. Wings showed up again, says Cue Ball. So there you are, man. We're doing wings tonight. Anybody wants to join us?
Yeah.
It's, what's the name of it?
SoCal Wings.
SoCal Wings. What time is it? You know what time?
7:13 right now.
7:13. So
7:45.
yeah, 7:45, 8 o'clock. We'll be over there. If you'd like to come over and slug down a nice ice cold Diet Pepsi, which Dr. Ed will have a fit about because you shouldn't have that, or a good glass of water, we would love to see you there. That is for sure. So SoCal Wings, right
SoCal
next
Wings.
to Island Fishing Tqckle.
Yeah.
You can meet us tonight. We'd love to see you there. Sam, you know, if he's in a good mood, he'll sell you a Friedman Adventures shirt here this evening. Rob S. Coors is way worse for me. Thanks for the information on the fish. Yeah, right?
That's right.
There's all kinds of stuff that's way worse for you. DJB. Sam, I have a Talica 20 and 25, both rigged, with Iser 100-pound metered line. Is it worth it to upgrade the TAC 25 to Iser's new 130-pound as my extra heavy rig? Good question.
Yeah, one of the things you could do is, you know, I wouldn't change the whole reel out, maybe 100 yards or so. Maybe, you know, last 30 feet. Maybe even not that much, maybe only 100 feet. You could put some of that on there. We can splice it on where we can splice the solid to the hollow. And then now you'll have some hollow on the end. The only reason I would actually even do that is if you're going to be doing any kind of loop with a wind on, or even doing a direct splice right into the hollow. So if that's of interest to you to use wind-ons, then I'd put that hollow on there on the end. But other than that, that 100-pound Iser is pretty dang strong, so I think you're good with that. So only put it on if you want to do those other types of connections.
Tim P. We are a
Figured
couple of
it out.
morons.
Yeah.
Right? YW is you're welcome. Yes, right. Okay, James Blanchard, what is the best size for the Eddie Bomb?
There's just basically, I think they only, well, you can
12
make any
ounce?
size you want, but a 16 ounce and
16.
20 ounce are the sizes. But 16 ounce probably the more common one.
Yeah. Are those easy to rig for the common guy? Or? Yeah.
Yeah.
You've done them before. We've done a video
we
on
did
that,
a thing
haven't
on
we?
them. Yeah. So I'll have some more of those sinkers. There's a through wire sinker, but you can even rig them without that through wire sinker by basically avoiding the wire of the sinker altogether. And we even did like a test on a non through wire sinker, you know, brand new one that is, you know, not something that was laying in my tackle box for 10 years, but you know, on a brand new one, it was impossible. We actually were able to tow my Tundra with that wire sinker, so you know, you're not pulling that hard, and you know. But if you want to be safe, they do make them with a through wire, or you can avoid using the wire of the lure, the sinker altogether, and just run a split ring, and you run the assist hook off that split ring.
All right, Mackie is joining us. Mackie was at our surf fishing event. I hope I see you at the next one this Saturday, Surfside, California. What's up, gang? Sam, I was looking at my Okuma Mustad slow pitch rods to pair with my Fathom 40. Which model would you recommend?
You know, in those ones that I saw, that Okuma and from Mustad, those are definitely more of a slow pitch rod. That Fathom 40, I would say is a little bit on the big side for that style of slow pitch fishing. You know, where that Fathom 40 would be definitely good. And I think we're assuming we're talking about that Fathom 42 speed, so the Fathom 40 narrow. That would be something I would probably put more like on the rod there that I showed earlier. Something for a larger jig, heavier jig for bigger fish is kind of what I would fish on that for that reel. So in that category, I probably would look at maybe the Phoenix. They have that Megalodon 608, 609. And other than that, there isn't too many rods that are already made, but we do have those in stock. And if you're looking for something for more like those lighter reels, then you'd be looking at more like a, in that 2-speed, you'd be looking at a Fathom 15 extra narrow, more that size with that lighter gear.
All right, good stuff. Hit that like button, everybody. Thank you so much for being here tonight. A reminder to you all that the Bluefin Tinted Bite is for real. Pacific Dawn, 10 fish over 100 pounds limits. Also, the Tribute had limits the other day. Polaris Supreme had really excellent fishing. At one point in time on the Polaris Supreme, they had 360 degrees of frothing, boiling tuna. They were really finicky, didn't want to bite, but there was a huge volume of fish there. John Collis was on the boat sending me messages, and that sounded so good, so awesome. Sounds like we are off to the races early this year. Steve wants to know, Sam and Phil, what is the most memorable fish you guys have caught?
Yeah, I don't really have one. I mean, a lot of the fishing isn't really so much about the fish. It's about the people you're fishing with and all that kind of stuff.
Do you have a memory like that?
A lot of them. I mean, really, yeah. I mean, I've caught some big tuna, big grouper, big bass. I mean, legal bass, legal halibut in the surf, that kind of stuff. They're all, things that you remember with a lot of fondness. I don't know if I have one that just sticks out,
Yeah.
I think as the years go on with my kids, I'll probably have more of those kind of memories.
Yes.
And so that, to me, I think my best memories are yet to come.
Yeah, I would have to agree with Sam. I could talk about the white sea bass I caught when my son Philip was born. Got in a little trouble over that one. I was out, and that was a 68, so it was a nice one, 68 pounds. Brian Shaw caught a giant white sea bass from the Los Angeles Lakers at Catalina Island. That was a memorable day. The deckhand Vince later on went on a commercial trip in 40 knots of wind and perished at sea. So it was the last time I saw him, and Brian had that triumphant moment. But I thought I was putting the bar way too high, but I was trying to be honest with my kids. We drove down to the East Cape. And on the way there, I go, guys, when we frickin' come over the desert and you see the frickin' Sea of Cortez, it's spiritual. And man, it was. And we got down there, and I told them fishing's great and everything else. We had a half a dozen marlin in the first hour. It was so friggin' great. Wow. And they were so stoked, to the point where I wanted to strangle them, actually, because we catch like 6 marlin, and I'm like, God almighty, this couldn't be any better. And they look at me and they go, hey, can we catch something else?
Yeah.
I want to kill them. And the guy goes, oh, there's tons of yellowfin and rooster fish in on the beach. Let's go. And so it was just, like you said, the stuff with your kids are probably the best for sure. Hey, 92 people watching. Thanks, everybody. We really appreciate you very, very much. Hit that like button. And next question, Joel Lopez. Hey, Joel, good to see you. Hey, guys, quick question. Have you heard of the real Pissin' Fun?
No, man.
Here we go again. I love Joel. I want to be, do you know how many people called me up and said they want to have Pissin' Fun?
No.
I'm telling you, there was a lot of people. Isaac, hey, Dan, Isaac was nuts about that. See, shaking his head. He loved it, man. He was all over it. Have you heard of having Pissin' Fun, or the real Pissin' Fun, Alejos 300 and 400, similar to the Alexa Reels, but much cheaper, and was wondering about your thoughts about Pissin' Fun.
Yeah.
Is that the correct pronunciation?
Pissin' Fun.
Pissin' Fun.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm close, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
real
thank
close.
you.
You're right there. So close. A little bit more, you'll be there. Yeah.
What's your opinion?
Last mile.
All right. Okay. So, what's your opinion about Pissin' Fun?
I mean,
sometimes it's enjoyable, sometimes it's not.
From what I've seen, it's definitely a lower quality reel.
Yeah.
I think for some of the freshwater stuff, you'd probably be okay, but I'm not really sure how it's going to do in the saltwater. And I know the sizes are similar to the Lexas, but from what I've seen, I haven't really had that much experience with them, but just from winding line, guys will bring them and get line on them. They do feel cheaper.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they're half the price or whatever. So depending on what you expect out of it. If you're going to fish once a year, probably be just fine. If you're going to do a lot of fishing, it probably might be money wasted. So yeah, it just depends on what you want out of it.
All right. And I just want to say right here and now that Joel gets an award tonight for the best question about Pissin' Fun. Mm-hmm. I think it was great. If you want to come down for a chicken wing tonight, it's on me, Joel. That was a great question. Cue ball. James, depends on the depth and current.
For the Eddie Bomb.
Yeah, right. Fish with Ish. Sam, it was a pleasure meeting you at the PCS show. Thanks for all the advice. Phil, thanks for the amazing content daily. Thank you for being a part of it. Thank you for your support. We could not do it without you. Sometimes I get a little punchy, but I mean, Gifford was like, we got to Ensenada, and he went in his room, and then I was knocking on his door. I go, hey, you ready to go? And he's like, what's going on here? I go, hey, I got to be over to this bar and interview this guy. And there was a crazy commercial fisherman there. Did you see that?
I haven't, no.
I mean, he had the frickin' long hair, and he had a beard like this. And I'm like, who's that guy? And he goes, oh, he's a commercial guy. He's going out toward Hawaii. And I go, oh, I got to interview this guy. He's sitting with a beer, and he's, crusty. He was great. And it was real because he talked about he's missed father-daughter dances. His mother died while he was out at sea. He's out at sea 300 something days a year.
Wow.
It's a really big sacrifice.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was crazy. We never stopped down there. We kept running, having a great time. Joel Lopez, also talking about Baja. Have any of you guys fished Cedros? Sam is an expert at that, or Natividad. I have fished there. I'm sure you have, Sam, on long-range boats. From the mainland, maybe Bahia Asuncion or Tortugas, is it cheaper? I've often thought about that.
Oh, for sure it would be.
You take a panga there and go out to Cedros,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, you probably have to set something up ahead of time, as far as communicating with somebody to stay, where to stay on Cedros. They don't have like big hotels or things like that. But I would imagine you could probably set something up like that with those guys. I'm not sure how much it would save you. One of the things that would be an advantage, though, would be that you would be able to bring back more fish.
That's what I was thinking. As an old commercial fisherman, yeah.
You don't have the limitations of the airplane.
Just fill your pickup truck, man.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So you could fill the whole cooler full of fish if you wanted to. But that being said, I mean, I'm sure it is cheaper. I'm not sure how much. Definitely the operations, like how we work with Rosie there on Cedros Sport Fishing. I mean,
You can't beat that, right?
The convenience is just, to me, of a lot of value. But definitely, I would imagine it'd be cheaper. But I don't know by how much.
How long of a run is it from the mainland out to the island? If you had to guess, 15? 15 miles?
Yeah, 20 miles. Is that going to Catalina?
Yeah.
Probably something like that. Yeah. It'd be probably a 2-hour run or something like that, and on a panga loaded up or something. Yeah.
All right, hey, we should look into that. I think that's something to really check out. I know Greg would be all over that. Cue ball. Oh, no, I'm sorry. We're
you would probably talk to Diego on that,
Yeah, he'd be a good one to talk
I'm
to.
sure he'd know exactly.
I guarantee. You're right. Absolutely right. Cue ball. I fished La Paz and the Sea of Cortez. It's hard to beat.
Yeah.
That is for sure. When I can get there.
Yeah.
You laughing out loud. Yeah, no kidding. Chad W., best time of the year for a chance at Doraditos, Dorado.
Just depends on where you're fishing, but I would say October, September, October would be about the best chance.
Yeah, that's when you get your warmer water flow up here into San Diego. But every year is different. You get a La Nina and cold water, then it's going to be no Dorado around. Some guy posted that Frank LaPresse, I should call Frank tomorrow, said that there's a big giant jag of yellowfin tuna headed towards San Diego, and we'll be catching YFT here. I don't know when, but soon. Yeah. So if the guy actually heard Frank, maybe heard him on Let's Talk Hookup or something like that.
Man. It's the El Nino.
It's the El Nino. It's going to screw up my albacore prediction again. Man, people are getting sick of that.
What did you predict?
What did you think I predicted? I'm not finished predicting.
Oh, I thought you had posted
I gave
something.
I did. The way too early albacore forecast.
Okay.
So we have this thing called the spring, I forget what you call it, the predictability problem.
Yeah.
Because everything changes so rapidly here in the next few months. Everying's lining up
So no.
for a fantastic albacore year. It's trending albacore. Yes.
Okay.
100%.
All right.
I've said it this is the fourth
But
year.
you
in a
already
row.
got an out.
Yes.
Why it couldn't happen.
No, I'm doing a monthly forecast.
Monthly, huh?
Monthly. Yes. Remember, I'm fishing for views on my
Yes, you
YouTube channel. So. Some people don't get that whole thing. All right. Let's see. Joel Lopez says, seen the bubblers at the shop, Sam, and was wondering how effective they are for
A DIY bait
DIY
tank.
bait tank.
So
What is that?
I think when he's talking about those little aerators.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I mean, it's not really something that you're going to be able to hold bait for like all day or something like that. So if you had a boat, you really couldn't attach that and expect to hold like a scoop of bait and have enough airflow through that. It's really going to be something that guys use a lot, especially halibut fishing on the pier and on the docks and things like that, to where they might hold bait for maybe an hour or so at the most, So, and you kind of have to constantly replenish that bait anyway. So, it'd be something you'd put in a bucket or a cooler and hold maybe 6 or 7 pieces of bait for you to go fish some halibut or something like that. But not really a bait tank that you'd be able to go fish Catalina or something like that or anything like that. Yeah, they just don't have enough airflow.
All right, Q-Ball said last year, July, we couldn't get 35 to 45 Dorados off us. They chewed the paint off the boat. Yeah,
Last year or 2 years ago?
Well, 2 years ago was that huge bite, but there was some good Dorado
There was
fishing
some,
last
yeah.
year too. All right, nautical tendencies. I got it right now, finally. Got a JX Raptor with 80-pound. Thoughts on a Phoenix HAXC 720XH 30 to 80 for a yo-yo rod.
Yeah, that'll work just fine. That's a nice rod for that.
And nothing wrong with yo-yo iron fishing. In fact, there is some really good yo-yo iron fishing going on down there in San Quintin. That's 140 miles below the border. That has been really good. There's been some of that going on also at the Punta Colinet area. In fact, I don't know, I forget the name of the boat. Somebody is down there on a 2.5-day trip. He had 40 big yellows his first day down there and tons of rockfish at Colinet, 120 miles down there. So it's starting to flow. It's starting to happen. That's some good fishing, man, that yo-yo iron fishing down that way. It seems like stuff is headed this way, so we're looking really, really good. Hold on a second here. Did I screw this up?
Hit 2K.
There we are. Yeah, hit 2K. Hey, Sam and Phil, would you, what would be some good tackle setups if you could only take for a 1 3/4 day trip on the Pride in April?
2 rods and reels. I probably would take something like, something full of braid so you can change out your top shot.
Yeah.
That's going to give you some more versatility. But I would take one smaller reel. It could even be like a Lexa 400 or something like that on the smaller side, or like a 20 size small reel like a Saltiga or Saltis 20 or Trinidad 14, Trinidad 12 in that small size. I'd probably take one like that. And then I'd take something bigger, something that would be like a Trinidad 20 or Saltis or a Saltiga 35 or 40 around that medium size. And I'd probably fill the smaller one with like 40-pound braid and the larger one with like 65-pound braid. And then take fluorocarbon with, from anywhere from 20-pound to 40-pound test. And I'd pair those up with some 8-foot rods. On the lighter one, maybe a 15 to 40, the heavy one like a 30 to 60. And that'll pretty much give you all the range you need. The one thing that you're going to have to do through the day, though, is change out your leader as you need it, depending on the different situations you guys might run into. But if you only wanted to take 2, that's probably what I would do.
All right, Carlos Sanchez says, hi, fellas. Do you carry a 9-foot or a Tanalua H90?
I don't have one in stock right now, but yeah, we do normally have those, yeah.
Labworks from Australia. Good to see you, my friend. Sam and I can't wait to come over there and catch a 100-pound yellow off the rocks there. Stopping by to say hello. Out on the water testing at the moment. That's cool, man. He's in Australia. Cool. Hey, best of luck. If you get something good, let us know. Jeff Yeomans from the 540 Slingers Club. Is that the famous Dr. Ed Maywood you're talking about? Is that who we're talking about, Ed?
World famous.
World famous Dr. Ed, who fixed Phil Friedman's neck tonight?
Yeah.
And it reattached his head. He said, Greg said, my head has been not attached for a long time. Yeah, all right. Well, that's him. He's here. He may even come over and eat a chicken wing with us tonight. I'm not sure. While I drink another cup of coffee. Boy, I could use one right now, let me tell you. All right, here we go. Cue ball, Mag 9, CalStar, 30 to 60.
Yeah, that's a good one. Maybe I think what he's talking about could be the 90J Mag, CalStar. Yeah, that's a good one. Did he have a question, though? I don't know. Yeah, maybe he's just mentioning that rod.
Yes.
It's a cool rod.
Yep.
I like
it. That rod I would pair with Piss and Fun.
We would.
I definitely would. Yeah, I would, man. Let me tell you, just because it's funny to say it.
It is.
Yeah, I don't know how good it is for catching fish, but it's damn funny to pair any rod with Piss and Fun, right? No, he's out of it. He's not even listening. That's a smart kid when he's tuning us out. All right, Christopher Navarro. Sam, I have a Phoenix 609. I've paired it with a Piss and Fun, Italica 16, loaded with 80-pound Max Quattro. Is the reel strong enough for nighttime jigging bluefin tuna?
Yeah, I think you'd be fine. I mean, I personally would prefer a little bit bigger reel with a little bit lower gear ratio if you're going to have a 2-speed, with the lower low gear ratio. But as far as it having a strong enough drag, I've seen that Italica 16 catch some monsters, 160-pounders, 180-pounders on that reel. It's definitely a little bit more of a challenge on a smaller reel. But I know that the jigging side of it, as far as that motion of working a jig, is probably easier on a smaller reel. But personally, myself, I would prefer a little bit bigger reel.
Scott Butchert is joining us. Man, his freaking schedule the last 2 days, gets on the Mission Bell, works the galley, works his ace, off, gets in an Uber, goes to the restaurant, washes dishes till 2 o'clock in the morning.
Jeez.
Gets up the next morning on the Mission Bell.
Wow.
Works the whole day. Goes to the restaurant, works till 2 in the morning, And then when I get up, because I have to take a leak at 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm just like, hey, Skagga. He just wants to kill me. Because he crank calls me. He crank called my son Philip the other night at midnight, woke him up, and Philip goes, I was so tired. He goes, I blew him up at 3 in the morning when I was driving to work. So everybody's blowing everybody up on that. Greg Bates, who sits in front of us, says, what charters is Friedman Adventures doing, and how do we sign up? Well, let me tell you about a few of our charters.
All
right. Independence, April 4th through the 9th. You book with the Independence office. That is going to be a great trip. www.independencesportfishing.com. 2 trips on the El Patron. You book with us here at Friedman Adventures on all the rest of these trips. That is 657-227-6459. Just send a text, tell me the trip you're interested in, and then we'll help you along the way, Greg or myself. So we have May the 9th, 5 a.m. to 5 p.m., $155 for that trip. 20-person limit. We got a couple of FA guys on there. That is Friedman Adventures. And no pissing fun on these trips, I will tell you that. Bring your good gear. Then May 23rd, we're on the El Patron with 20 people. May the 31st, we're on the Island Spirit out of Ventura Harbor Sport Fishing. Isn't that going to be a great one? I can't wait. And then a reverse 2.5-day trip with very few spots left, leaving June 11th to the 13th, 10 a.m. from 22nd Street Landing. White sea bass, halibut, bluefin tuna, rockfish. It's all there this year for you. That's going to be a great trip. And then we have the Apollo, September 24th to 26th, out of C4 Sport Fishing in San Diego. That is going to be another great one. And we finish up with a October trip. I said the Apollo in the last one, didn't I?
Yeah.
Okay. On the Amigo, October 6th to 8th. And then actually 8 days on the Independence, November 18th to the 26th. We're sold out. I'll send you that entire list. Just send me a text and ask me to send you the list, and then we can go from there. 657-227-6459. Greg, that was a great one. Ken Trenholm, who is a fantastic guy. Got to meet his lovely mother while I was right next to Sam's booth at the Del Mar show. There in San Diego, the Bart Hall show. Hello, Friedman Adventure family. Sam, I was given a Phoenix Abyss 807 12 to 30 pound. There's one eye in the middle that needs replacing. How much to repair one eye? And what reel do you recommend? Thank you.
Yeah,
if he needs cataract surgery, it gets a little pricey.
Yeah, just the one eye though.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think we would probably be about $20 on that one. I think from what I remember, that rod has a pretty simple wrap. So taking the guide off, cleaning it up, and putting a new guide, including the guide and the labor, probably about $20. As far as a reel, that's probably one of the better candidates for one of these Lexas here. I'll put maybe more like a 300 size on the smaller side, or even a really small conventional reel on the smallest conventional reel they make. That'd be good on that too.
All right, very good. Q-Ball says that's a nice spot Phil has in Ensenada. Man, they've got some Cadillac Pongas running there. They really do. I'm sold. It is a cool spot because it's like the docks. I know Greg, he's seen it. He loved it. Botes Juanitos. Greg or Bob Gifford was there. He loved it. It's very comfortable. People are nice. We got to do some trips out of there. That is for sure. We're going to have to plan something here very, very soon. Albert Roy gives a thumbs up. Rocket Duck Sam. I have an old CalStar 6480 with a pebble texture shrink tube. Is this all making sense to you?
Maybe.
All right.
Yeah.
Or at least I think it's a shrink tube. Do you carry that?
Well, I'm not sure exactly what you have. I don't think you know exactly what you have from what you're saying, but
Well, you don't have to be nasty like that.
Well, no, he says, at least I think it's a shrink tube.
Right.
So
don't pick on the poor man. Is all I'm saying.
I'm not really sure. It may be that grip tape they used to use back in the day. I'd have to see it. If I saw a picture of it, I tell you whether or not we had it. But we do have different kinds of shrink tubing. We have that fish scale looking stuff. That maybe that's what he's talking about. But I don't remember ever there being any kind of shrink tubing that has that much texture though. So I'd have to see it to tell you for sure. But we have lots of different kinds of shrink tubing. Pretty much everything that's available for rods. So, but maybe you got something else on there, something that wasn't intended for fishing rods.
Maybe.
Could be.
Yeah. What are you eating? Oh, you're drinking water. All right, we are back to Christopher Navarro, who says, maybe we should ask Frank Lopreste when the albacore are coming. Well, I intend to pose that question to Frank. And for your information, Chris, I posted to him last year, and Frank perhaps had the best answer, and he was absolutely right. He said, I'm not too sure about this year, so he's dubious about it. He did say, however, they will be back. I don't know when, but they will be back. Unlike non-believers, atheists like Tom Durr, who say they're never coming back. You know, he's all
Possibility.
nah. Tom Durr's just too negative. Sorry,
Yes.
Tom.
Sorry, man.
Oh, you said
I'm just
yes.
saying, anything's positive and possible.
What, that they're not coming back?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true, I guess.
Yeah.
I want to be an optimist, though. A realist, though, at the same time. Joel Lopez is laughing out loud. Man, don't tempt me. I love.
Me some wings.
Oh,
Says, but yeah.
oh yeah, I awarded him the best credit. Yeah, I need some wigs. But yeah, I've seen East Coast guys catch big stripers with the
Ballyhoos?
ballyhoos, but considering being a beater reel on my private boat. Oh,
Maybe he's talking about the Piscifun.
yeah, he's definitely talking about the pissing fun. Yeah, you mispronounced it, so I want to get you right. Cuba, Australia, definitely on my bucket list, man. You guys have freaking amazing fishing. Calico Chris, happy birthday, Chris. Hope you're having a great day, my friend. DJB Sam picked up the Megalodon 608 from you at the PCS show. Rod has a small foregrip. Realize it's not a rail rod by any definition, but would it be okay to lay it on the rail if I needed a break fighting bigger fish?
Yeah, it does have a little bit of a foregrip, so if you are going to lay it on the rail, maybe put it on that. And I probably wouldn't lay it on in the same way that you would a traditional rail rod, like flat like that. You might want to lean over and maybe just rest a little bit there, but definitely not something you're going to be prying on a fish like you would with a rail rod.
All right, Chris Navarro. Sam, which 3-day Royal Star trip are you on? Get me on the waiting list.
I know, Chris. I'm not really sure which one I'm doing right now. We do have two of them on there. I know they're both full, and you would have to get on a waiting list, but I'm not really sure which one, if at all, I'll be doing either of those this year.
You know what, Scott Bouchard,
Myself.
I said all those nice things about him. I didn't read his comment. So he's back with his comment again. I just realized that. Nomad squid treks, good for tuna?
Oh, yeah. Oh, is that a question?
He's asking you if they're good for tuna.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I haven't really heard of that too much. I don't think guys have really tried them, but it is a squid type lure. I'm sure you catch tuna on it for sure.
Quintin
Truck.
Trachia. Will Captain Jeff be running the boat on the Apollo? I don't think so. I forget the guy that's running the boat full speed right now. He's really good. He was on board the Fortune last year when I went over to the Fortune on a trip. He's very, very, very good. Now, Jeff may be running it. I'm not positive whether he's running that trip or the one we have out of Seaforth. Jeff and I go back many, many years. In fact, I told you I went by and picked up some old photographs that I have, and I showed Greg, geez, Jeff looks like he's 18 or 17 in some of these photos. So
awesome.
I don't think so, but he's going to put somebody in charge who's really, really good. Joe Lopez, if you do get more info on the mainland Cedros idea from Dago, I'd love to know. I want to do a trip with my dad this year. He used to take me when I was a kid to fish Baja, but never done the Cedros dream trip. For sure, Joel. And I think Sam had the best idea. I need to talk to Diego Nuno, who's a deckhand on the Royal Star, but was born on the island, Cedros. So we will definitely do that. 101 people watching. The surge is going up, Sam. I know you want to get out of here and you want to go consume chicken wings, but you're not allowed to leave yet because we have millions of questions yet as Dan Lightfoot brushes his hair back and says, God, I want to get the hell out of here. No, he didn't say it. I don't know if he said that or not, but he's out there doing that, brushing his hair. Jaime Fernandez Jr., Feliz Lunes. Happy Monday, Phil and Sam, 6480. Seeker or 6480 CalStar, which performs and looks better in your opinion? Feliz lunes a ti, mi hermano.
Yeah, it looks better. They look the same. They're fat on one side, skinny on the other. As far as performing,
Sounds like Scott
better,
Bouchard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As far as performing, they're different rods. They do feel different. And I don't think there's a better or worse type of, assessment that I can make of those things, but they are different. I would say the 6480 from CalStar has a little heavier tip, maybe more of a jig stick type tip, but once you start pulling on them, the Seeker might even have a little bit more backbone and with a lighter tip. So it really depends on what you want. They're both really, really good. They're somewhat close, but definitely different. If you wanted to really check them both out, come in and pull on them both, and you might make a decision based on that. But I really don't think that you can compare them in that way as far as performing one better than the other.
All right, we are getting down to very few questions left. If I just start reading the questions quickly, we'll be out of this thing.
Let's do it.
So I wanted to talk to you about changing oil in my car.
Right,
do you
right.
like to go to a place or you change it? No, I'll get back to that.
I go to a place, yeah.
All right, hold on. Scott Butcher says, ask Roy, so he's talking about Roy Rose, or Mark Paisano, or Paul Strasser about the albacore.
Ask all of them.
All right, I'll do that, Scott. I will take that on right now. Great idea. DZ, do you guys have tension rods for rod wrappers? Mine broke.
I don't have the tension rod. I know some of the thread carriages will have a rod. I don't have those in stock. I'm trying to think of where I would get one for you, but we do carry the thread tensioners, which is the one where the thread goes through it in kind of like little sandwich type thing. We do have some of those in stock, but I don't think I have the rod type ones, so sorry about that. I could try to look for them though, so if you want to give me a call and let me know what kind of machine you have and what kind of thread carriage you have, I might be able to find a replacement.
All right, Chris Navarro wants to know, Michael Limon, on your October 2-day trip, they're thinking about it. What rigs do you have? He's asking Michael Limon. I think the Frieman Adventure family can help you get whatever else you need. Of course we can. And by the way, will Michael Limon be selling raffle tickets this weekend at our beach event? He will be. He has raffle tickets to help support his baseball team. And everybody here tonight has contributed to Michael's tickets. Do you have any tickets left?
Yeah, actually, I have some right here.
All right, very good. He's still got tickets left? Oh, yeah, we can show them.
Well, if you guys are not going to be here at the Saturday event, I can sell them to you right now. Just send Phil your name and phone number, and then we'll have him write it down. And
then you'll get in touch with
Yeah.
them, and you can either send them the raffle ticket or fill out the ticket for them, right?
Yeah. But
We want to be off the air by midnight. Yes. Go ahead.
we're going to have opening day and have a raffle.
Yes.
So the first prize
$500.
The first prize is $500. The second prize is $350, and the third prize is $200.
Excellent.
Pretty good for $2.
Yeah, $2, everybody.
$2 a piece.
Then you
The
get a bunch
Colton-
of coupons.
Yeah, you
too.
get coupons.
You get your money right back.
Colton Pony Baseball Fundraiser. There you are.
Shoot, yeah, it's $2, and then you get $5 coupon with the $2. So it's like you're making money on it.
There you are. 657-227-6459. Just put in the subject bar, you want to buy some raffle tickets, or come down to Surfside this weekend. Michael will be there at 7 a.m. until 12 noon selling raffle tickets along with the Frieman Adventures merch, which will be a big celebration
gosh.
down there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Phil,
Yes, Michael.
we can make a deal. One raffle ticket for a shirt.
Yeah, there you go.
Everybody
One-
who buys a raffle ticket gets a free shirt.
Man,
That's a deal.
yeah, really. Thanks. We're out of merch again. We're out of the merch business again.
Limited supply of one.
Omar says, guys, I'm looking for a casting rod and surf fishing with Carolina rig and drop shots. What rod do you recommend?
If you're looking for, I'm not sure if you're looking for a bait casting rod, that'd probably be what you would be using maybe. We do have one here. It's a Claris 8.5 footer. I think it's rated like 8 to 17. That'd be a good one. There's not too many that we stock in here. Most of the rods that guys are fishing with that kind of fishing are using spinning, and we have a ton of those from Phoenix, Daiwa, and Shimano. I mean, we have so many of them here. So that's probably what I would still recommend, especially with that drop shot. That drop shot is way easier with the spinning reel. But if you got a bait caster that you want to use, we do have one here, and it's a Claris rod, 8.5 footer.
All right, very good. Scott Buchert says Jeff Walker.
He's
Ask
right.
him.
Yep,
Very
ask
good.
him.
I mean,
Yeah.
Fernandez Jr., would you recommend putting a cold shrink on the UC Viper 3M foregrip for protection against damage to the 3M material?
So putting the cold shrink on top of the cold shrink. I mean, yeah, I guess you can add some more cold shrink. That'd be okay. But the factory rod should already have some cold shrink in that foregrip, and that should be enough. But you can definitely put it on the whole thing and just put it, have an extra layer of that.
All right, Michael, I think we're going to sell a lot of tickets this weekend for you, kid. Good job. And, this will definitely help you out. Bring plenty of tickets because you don't want to exacerbate the situation and have people angry that there's not tickets available. So tell your teacher that you intend to do no exacerbating at the Friedman Adventure. What is it? The surf fishing event.
Fishing,
Yeah. All right.
DZ.
DZ. Yeah. Do you guys have? No, we already did that. Is there another DZ? I think we're at Omar, right? No. No. Hold on. Yeah, Ruben Lopez. Phil, ask Tommy Rothery. He always had the date right for Albacore. Ruben is right.
Yeah.
The Riddler had the answer all the time. Why did they call him the Riddler? Do you know?
I don't know.
Because Don Sansom, he was running a boat in those days, maybe the American anglers said, I can never figure your dope out, like what you're talking about where the fish are. So they called him the Riddler because no one can figure his dope out. Dope is a synonym for like info, where the fish were. All right, let's see, is it Jaime? No, it's
Quentin.
Quentin.
Trachea.
Quentin. No, wait, say hi to Andrew for me, says DZ.
Yeah.
And then Quentin, how do you pronounce his last name?
Trachea.
Trachea, Quentin Trachea. Here's $20 for wings tonight because Sam got my last name right. Woo, hey, Sam, that a boy. Michael Limon up to 3.5 wings now. We're gonna let the kid eat tonight, maybe. He's got to give me back my raffle tickets though. But actually, I gave them all to Dan. So Dan, if I win, don't try to cheat me. Whatever you do. Hey, it's Patrick and Sarah Harjack up there in Montana. We haven't heard from you guys all night long. Great to hear from you. Hello, Jets. Had a nice 62-degree spring day today. So got to get out and do some trout fishing. Beautiful native rainbows today on the Missouri River. That is a freaking heat wave, isn't it? In Montana, 62 degrees. That sounds fantastic. Joe Lopez, hey, Sam. What's a good ghost feed popper size to cast on a jig stick? And what brand do you like? Yozuri?
So, actually, we like the original one, which is the Tackle House feed popper. That 170 and the 150, there's really only two sizes that are kind of the good sizes, so to speak. That 150 is a good one, a lot of times for yellowfin. That 170 is kind of the preferred size, the larger size for the big the big bluefin. So 150, 170 in that Tackle House feed popper. Clear.
All right, very good. We're getting toward the end here, ladies and gentlemen. If you have a question for Sam or myself or anybody else in our studio audience, we can run Dr. Ed Maywood down, or Bob Gifford can tell you about his recent experience in Mexico Lindo. Bob does not like to be on camera. So if I get the camera anywhere near him, he has a gun on him. But when Paulina put the camera on him, there was no problem at all. Let me tell you, I can't win with this thing. Patrick and Sarah up there in Montana. Great fishing on the reverse dropper loop with a mini marshmallow and a live crawler, Sam.
There you go.
Cue ball. I don't see Quentin too often. What's up, Quint? DJB, $10 for extra wings for Michael. Michael, you are getting up there, man. Hey, Michael, do you really want to eat wings tonight?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
That was a quick answer.
Yeah, I was going to try to get out of it. Israel de la Cruz. Captain Ryan was on the Fortune. It's Ryan is running. That's right. Captain Ryan was on the Fortune trip when the Apollo broke down. I'm guessing he'll be running the trips on the Apollo. Thanks for coming to my rescue, as you always do. Israel on the Fortune trip, by the way, works at Verona Casino. Brought me an aged, big old, what do you call those things? The tomahawk. Aged tomahawk. It was so good. Thank you, Israel. I haven't forgotten that at all. Christopher Navarro says, my last question. Sam, what's the heaviest lead head you have for hookup baits? Ounces.
I think those are a 6 ounce, yeah.
You got a 6 ounce? Wow, that's pretty heavy.
Yeah, that's a big one. 4 or 6. I think 6 ounces is the heaviest they make.
All right. Do you want to keep talking or do you want to end up?
Wings, man.
All right, Sam. Hey, everybody, don't forget, send me a text if you'd like to join us this weekend. We got a great surf fishing weekend for you. We've got some trips coming up, 657-227-6459. Just say it. Bass Pro Shops on Sunday. I'll be giving a surf fishing seminar at 12 noon out there, so we will see you there also. Halibut Man, that's your buddy Mitchell, our buddy Mitchell. What's Michael got there? Did someone give him a new rod?
No, not
No, but he's thinking about
Yeah.
making it his new rod. J-Bay, good job, boys. Relax. Yeah, I'm fried tonight, man, but I'm okay. I need another cup of coffee. Scott Butchert says, Sam, nice. Ooh,
Nice.
yeah, Sam, nice. Isn't that what he says?
Yeah.
Nice. What does that
Nice.
mean? What the hell is he talking about? Jeff Yeomans, enjoy the wings, fella. DJB, great show as always. Thank you so much, DJB, for contributing some dinero to us tonight. Scott Butchert, Bass Pro Open up in Irvine. Yes.
All right.
Okay, Scott, thank you so much. Sam wants to hit you over the head. Halibut man, go eat some wings, guys. I'll fish with everyone on Sunday. Sam, why don't you wrap it up? When are you open here at Island Fishing Tqckle? When can people join you? All that razzmatazz.
So we are in the city of Carson. We're just off the 405 freeway between the 110 and the 710. The address is 21809 Avalon Boulevard, city of Carson, 90745. Phone number is 310-707-1205. We're open Monday through Saturday from 10 to 6. If you want to reach me, a lot of guys, the best way is to get a hold of me through social media, Facebook or Instagram under Island Fishing Tqckle.
All right, everybody. Anybody saying anything there, Sam, that we need to address?
Says Jeff Yeoman says, hope to see Dr. Ed on the Aloha Spirit. Greg B says, fishing is on Saturday. I think he was talking.
Our surf fishing event.
Surf fishing
Yeah.
on Saturday, yeah. Talking to Halibut Man. Good night, everybody. It says, thank you, Phil and Sam, as always.
All right. Hey, for Sam De La Torre, Island Fishing Tqckle, Michael Limon, our studio audience was a big one tonight. Now we're going to go head over and eat some wings. Thanks for being with us, everybody. We deeply appreciate your kindness and support. I'll see you for the morning briefing tomorrow morning. Sam, great show. Thanks
Good
again,
night.
my friend.
Good night, everybody.